Rock stars, what's happening? Happy Monday to you, my friends. Coach Borino coming to you live from Washington, D.C., just outside of Washington, D.C. Getting ready to hit the gym, but I figured we need to talk to my peeps first. So Borino is here with you live, chatting with you about getting more leads, having an awesome week, helping clients, making some money. What's going on? Hey, Kim, good to see you. Shante, nice to have you. Welcome, Grace. Lovely to have you all, my friends. Hope your weekend was good. Hope you had fun watching Super Bowl. I didn't. We did a little bit of work and a little bit of fun. We stayed home with the family. I'm not a huge sports fan, but here's what I know. And this is coming from a guy who doesn't know much about sports. One coach put together a strategy to win the Super Bowl yesterday. One coach showed up hoping maybe. One coach led his team to a total victory. One team showed up with their heart knowing we're going to win this thing. One didn't. One side played for maybe. Let's hope how it goes. Let's do our best. One side came and said, we're going to crush it. We're going to get this fucking thing. We're going to get the job done. No maybe, no ambiguity. So here's my question for you, friends. My dear rock stars. When you show up for prospecting, for lead generation, for follow-up, when you sit down with the seller, when you call, when you get somebody to visit your open house, do you play for maybe? Do you build your career, your income, your future on hope? I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try. Maybe it's going to work out. Hopefully it's going to work out. Or are you prepared so well where you know you got it? You know the difference between an average and a rock star? Average will practice until they get it right. Average will try until once in a while they succeed. Rockstar will go at it until they can't get it wrong. No maybes, no ambiguity. You didn't come to this business for maybe. You didn't show up for maybe. You're not here, hopefully, to earn some money. Here's the thing. Over the last 7 days, in your city, in your town, there were hundreds of new listings. Just check your MLS. There were hundreds of sellers who signed the contract with an agent. They didn't sign with the cheapest agent in many cases. They didn't sign with the most experienced one. They didn't sign with the agent with the biggest team or the largest marketing budget. How many of those listings were yours? And if you say, well, Borino, 0, you're in trouble. You're playing for maybe. So we got to fix that. And I'm here to fix that. I'm here to help you. We opened the boot camp this week. I was having a meeting, we were chatting with my staff, and I was just kind of mulling it over. In the past, we did these boot camps, FSBO boot camp, expired boot camp, double your listings boot camp, and they're all like $1,900, $2,000, $2,500. Sold out every single time. But I said, you know what? This is a new year, and there's a lot of you guys who want to start fresh, really jam this year, and really crush it, because it's either do or die. And I've been there. I know what it's like. Where it's either put the dime in, make the phone call, or get the fuck out, right? So I said, all right, we're going to come up with a different model. Instead of charging you a couple $1,000s, which is totally worth it. I mean, one listing more than covers the whole thing. And if you just get one listing, you're fucking it up anyway. You're not following the system. But fair enough. I know for some of you, that's a lot of money right now. So I said, all right, let's just make it part of the path. Have them try the path. They're going to love it. It's a great training. It's only $197. $6.57 a day, $197 a month. They're going to do the boot camp, get some results, hopefully stay on the path, tell others, I'll get more students, everybody wins. You help clients, you make some commissions. And there are still people out there bitching and crying, going, oh, it's only $97 a month. You're playing for fucking maybe. You're counting on hope. You're counting on good luck. You're hoping. So let's fix that, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the day where I'm going to fix it for you. How about that? Because if you strip all the emotion, if you strip all the stories you've been telling yourself, if you strip all the bullshit, it's going to come down to only 3 things. Today, I have to show up at Orange Theory, to work out. My personal trainer, George, teaches there, and we incorporate it into our routine. Do you think my emotions are like, yeah, I'm going to sweat and it's going to hurt, it's going to be difficult? No, but I'm going to show up. Just like you've got to show up. to get leads, to get appointments, to get listings. That's it. That's all your focus needs to be. Don't play for maybes. Do it for certainty. That team that won last night, certainty. Those agents who got listings last week in your town, certainty. No maybes. And if you scored one, awesome. But ask yourself, can I repeat it? Is it duplicatable? Strip the emotions, strip the bullshit stories. It's time to start fresh. This is a good opportunity to do it right now. So if you want to do the bootcamp, let me just show you real quick. Here you go. Go to goborino.com/FSBO, sign up. We're going to ship you a package. You're going to get this book. You're going to get 2 books, actually. Let me show you. You're going to get this one. Here you go. We'll send you this. We'll send you this. This is all about mindset. This is all about FSBOs. And then we're going to take it apart. And for 4 weeks, we're going to work our asses off. No maybes, no ambiguity, certainty. I want you to walk away with certainty, knowing here's where I'm going to find good leads. I mean, fuck, if you can't convert FSBOs, you don't belong in this business, people. Seriously. 7 out of 10 for sold by owners list. That means if you have 10 for sold by owners in your area, statistically, 7 of those will be listings. What are you waiting for? So I'll tell you, I promised you we're going to fix it. It's going to come down to only 3 things. You have the wrong mindset. You don't believe you're good enough. You believe FSBOs are assholes. You believe money is hard to come by. You believe this business is too difficult. There is too much competition. Everybody's cutting commissions and all these bullshit stories. While other agents are taking listings. Small group, but they're doing well. Fix your mindset. Start here. Read some good books. Come to my lives. Get inspired. Get pumped. You've got to. It's like a muscle. It's like me going working out. Once a week ain't going to cut it. You got to work on your mindset daily. I write my goals daily. I'll show you. No joke. No bullshit. Here's my book. Here's my pen. I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I was actually early this morning. It was like 4 o'clock this morning. Here's my good book. I write it down. Look at this. Here you go. Every day. I write down things that matter to me. How much money I want to make. How I want to provide for my family. How I want to serve you, my clients. I write it down every day. Why? It's part of my mindset routine. It's just like working out mentally. Are you doing it? 2-3 minutes a day. And I would say it's too simple. It's too easy. I know that's why most people don't do it, because it's easy not to. Start with a good mindset. Review your goals. I have my goals right here. Big board. I put stuff on it all the time. Move stuff around. Vision board. Look at it. It feels good. Remind yourself. Do affirmations. Do what it takes to get in a good state. Read good books. Listen to good podcasts. Get in a positive state. It is vital in this business to have the right positive passion mindset. Second, how are your systems? The agents listing properties on a regular basis have good systems. Oops. Did you see that? I was writing with the wrong side. Systems. And you need 3 systems. You need 3. Switching color on you, just to make sure you're paying attention. Leads. You have to have a system. This cannot be improvisation. The business has become too sophisticated for you to just kind of shoot off the hip. System to get good qualified leads. That's why I teach you Expired Bootcamp and FSBO Bootcamp. Because those are the easiest ones. That's like the hanging fruit that just go pluck it. Yes, it requires the right communication. Yes, it requires the system. Yes, it requires the right mindset. Yes, it requires certain follow-up, certain approach. You cannot just wing it. But it's duplicatable. It's repeatable. Because there'll be new FSBOs every single fucking day. Especially now in this market. They ain't selling. They need your help. How are you getting your leads? If you're sitting and hoping, if it's too passive, if you're waiting for somebody else to take action before you can sell them something or list their house, you're in trouble. Because what if they don't? Whereas something like expireds or FSBOs or open house, I can control that. I can control how many FSBOs I approach. And if I know the numbers, if I strip the stories, and if I know 7 out of 10 list, then all I got to do is talk to 7 FSBOs, talk to 10 FSBOs, put 7 on my follow-up, and I know there's at least 1 or 2 listings there for me. Second, how you follow up. That was my big hurdle. My follow-up system was a mess. I would get a lead and drop the ball. I don't want to know it, people. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to send them. Next thing you know, they're listed with Century 21. I'm like, fuck, I talk to these people. Need to have a system, a CRM plus sequence. And the last one is listing system. That includes pre-listing, what happens before you sit down with the seller, the actual listing process, and then the marketing plus close. What do you do once you get a listing? System, simple steps. Now, when you take away the emotions and start breaking this down into steps, which I've become very good at, that's my strength. People ask me, well, how are you in a different, there are 100 different coaches. True. My strength is two things. I don't do sales. I suck at them, don't want to pressure people, don't like the typical script manipulation bullshit. That's one thing. And two, I can take something complicated and break it down into simple steps so you don't feel so overwhelmed. Now, I'm not pretending here this is easy. This is not an easy business. But you give me an area, you give me a business where you can make 200, 300, 400, 500, $1 million a year. That's easy. There's no such thing. You're either going to spend years and years and years in some college, spend a lot of money on student loans, study your ass off and become like a lawyer or a doctor that makes 3, 4, 500,000, or you're going to hustle in sales. Those are the only two ways, my friends. But here's the good part. Passive income. You see, you as an agent are on the front line. You're on the front line. You recognize the deals. You can start picking properties, but you can't do that if you're making 80,000 a year. You can if you're making 200, 300, 400. Buy a property or two every year. Some flip, some you keep. Now you're building wealth. That's the secret, my friends. And you have the opportunity, you have the skill, you have the knowledge. What you don't have is a system that produces the money so you can do that. Don't play for maybes. Make this a plan. I'm going to close this many transactions. I'm going to earn this much money. I'm going to build this kind of lifestyle. And I'm going to take $100,000 of that money and I'm going to reinvest it for my future. And I'm going to do this for 5 years. And then 5 years from now, I can say, you know what? This has been a fun ride. I'm going to retire. I'm going to take the family to Bahamas and I'm going to chill. And if you want to come back work, you can, but you don't have to. Does that all make sense? Now, yes, there's more to it than that. That's why I teach a 4-week boot camp. Because there is more to it than that. But in 4 weeks, you have my word. If you follow what I tell you to do, if you implement the systems, you can be on your way. Getting leads, getting appointments, talking to people, starting lining up listings. 4 weeks. My expectation from you guys is 2 listings minimum. Every boot camp we do. Some do it, some don't. Some take a little longer. That's okay. If you stay with it, we improve and tweak and troubleshoot. But if you're not going to make a dramatic change in the way you think, in your mindset, in the way you communicate, in the way you work, how in the world do you expect a dramatic change? It's just going to trickle. And that's going to go away too. It's changing the market, the competition, the opportunity. You see, back in 1989, way back when I got my real estate license, which was, looking back, kind of an interesting choice, right? When everything was tanking, interest rates were at 13, 14%. Foreclosures all over the place, and I got into real estate. Didn't know any better. Back then, to run an ad in a newspaper would set you back minimum $100 a week. Minimum. The little tiny ads. To produce a video, you would need thousands of dollars of equipment, cameras, editing software, high-end software, and then what do you do with it? To run a even simple local television ad will set you back $400 a week, easy. To run a spread in a Homes and Land magazine, which was a really nice high glossy color magazine, 2 pages would set you back $600. To send a direct mail campaign, there was no every door direct back then. You would spend on a decent campaign $500, $600 minimum. So to reach a high number of even maybe prospects, we're not talking high probability leads even, just somebody in a neighborhood who may be thinking about selling, was not only difficult, complicated, but very expensive, controlled by all these companies. A television, a print company, a post office, all these people, and they would gladly take my money. Today, I am here in my home, from my home studio, broadcasting to literally thousands of people. You guys, love you. It cost me very little, almost nothing. You can build a database of motivated leads and communicate with them for pennies, even for zero these days. It is easy. Communication is easy. Marketing is easy. Real estate has become easy because all these phenomenal tools we have at our disposal. We used to lug those fucking big MLS book around just to figure out which house was for sale, how much are they asking, to put a CMA, all by hand. Fuck that. I know it's ancient. I'm a dinosaur when it comes to these things. But that's why I'm so excited to watch what we have today. And it's true, I hear you. You have to put up with Zillow. You have to put up with discount brokers. Friends, we had those 30 years ago. Nothing's changed. We had help you sell. Flat fee, 1%. Nothing's changed. Now, here's an interesting thing. If the commission was such a big deal, if it matters to the seller so much, don't you think that by now they would be dominating? They're not. There's a space for it. But just like there's Walmart and there's Nordstrom's, there are discounters, and that's fine. It's a business model, and there are you guys. It all can work, but it goes back to mindset, systems, and then execution. Don't playing for maybe also means you show up and you give it your best. You don't sit there on your ass with your feet up going, I'm going to write another blog post and hopefully somebody's going to read it and they're going to come to me and they want to list my house. How many sellers do you know who sit on a pishadul in the morning, they're flipping through their feed, they're looking at the blogs, they're reading a blog and say, hey Martha, there's another blog post from Joe, we should call him and list our house with him. It doesn't happen that way. You need to hustle, you need to put active energy to it. You need to get out there and work. Is it all making sense? Systems, mindset, action. And not playing for maybes, friends. Go with certainty. And one certainty I can offer you right now, it's not going to be perfect. Fuck perfect. Good enough. Is it performing? Are you serving clients? Are you reaching them? Are you communicating with them? Are you using the right channels to reach out to them? Are you establishing a relationship with them? And are you converting leads into appointments and listings? If the answer is no, something is broken. Start with the mindset, evaluate your systems, evaluate your action. I need to put that on the board. That thing is missing. You got to use it. Take action. And I know it would be so nice to say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I got this new gadget for you. It looks like this. You push a button, and sellers will appear. Listings will appear. It's not that simple. And people who try to sell you shit like that are full of shit, and they're lying to you. And you already know that. That's why you come to me, because I tell you the truth. Am I right? All right. Namrata says, hi Borino, this is my first live video with you. Glad to have you. I do this a lot. I share my inspiration, what I know. I answer your questions. We hang out. Good times. Free training. Hey Heather, nice to have you. Thanks for joining us. I can actually show you. Here you go. So good to have you. Oh yes, join us for live boot camp. Here it is, my friends. GoBorino.com/FSBO. Would love to have you. We have only so many spots, of course, left. Come join us. Christopher has a good question. Let me center it a little. My bootcamp graduate, Christopher. Here you go. Borino, do you think companies like Rex and Purple Bricks will put agents out of business? No, I don't think so. They will put incompetent agents out of business. Agents who don't have the right mindset, who don't have the systems, who are not keeping up. Yes. But here is what I know, guys. If the commission was the only driving force, it would have been over a long time ago. But it isn't. There will always be a market segment who is focused only on the commission, who don't really care about your service, who don't care about your personality, expertise, experience, guidance. None of that matters to them. Sometimes you can educate them. Sometimes you can do something about it with the right communication, the right sequence, and the marketing. It's possible. But sometimes you can't. But notice that Walmart didn't put Nordstrom out of business. They were pretty busy. We were there yesterday, shopping. It was pretty crowded. Can you tell? This is new. You guys like it? It's pretty comfortable. You know what I mean? There have always been discounters. I promise you, in every market, there's at least one bored housefrau who's doing real estate for $500 flat fee or even for free. And there are companies already out there who would do it for free on the listing side. And yet they don't control a whole lot. They get some business, but not a whole lot. So I tell you what will put you out of business. It's not going to be this competition. There will always be room, at least in the foreseeable future, for a full service brokerage. But here's where it's going to change, is the level of your expertise. You need to step up. You need to walk into a property and be certain what list price that property is going to sell for. You need to tell the homeowner what improvement needs to be done. You need to have a stager on your team who can walk with the seller through the property and suggest improvements. That's what Hannah does, my wife. She's a very successful staging. As a matter of fact, she's today with Stella Mahoney, one of my students. Consultation of the seller. So your service needs to improve. Your skills need to improve. Your communication needs to improve. How you communicate, how you market, social media, you need to own that. Presence on Facebook, presence on Instagram, presence on YouTube, absolutely essential. Good marketing skills, essential. So yes, you have to step up your game. Those who don't, gone. Let me tell you a story. When I started in real estate in 1444, we were selling huts, wooden. But when I started, it was just, MLS was just coming online electronically. We used to have those modems, remember those? Big computer with a big orange screen. If you had the fancy IBM one, it would have a green, black screen with the green letters. And it would make that noise, you know. The modem would connect. Did it bring back memories, the sound? Yeah. And you would log in, username and password, and then you would try the MLS search. It didn't work half the time. It was kind of clunky. Some agents didn't like it. Some agents didn't put properties on it because you had to pay cost and stuff. And little by little, it was coming online. It became more common. We use thermal printers. Then later, dot matrix, and we'd go, would print like that. Those were the good old days. This was all coming. We were taking classes, how it worked, and how to incorporate. And I was like, this is pretty cool. This is exciting. We're going to ditch the books. And there was a guy named Jim. I'm not picking on Jims. That's just a guy. Older agent. Fairly successful. A lot of business came from referrals. And the way my cubicle was, I was close to the room where we had the books and the computers. So I could hear Jim on the... I always knew Jim was on the MLS because I would hear, fucking hey, this... how do you... this doesn't work. And he would grumble. He would be really pissed off. So on one hand, you would have these young brokers going, fuck, this is awesome. I have it in my fingertips, all the information. Later, they were adding pictures. Holy shit, that's awesome. And there were the crusties complaining, not willing to learn, to see the opportunity. Jim lasted about a year. After a year, he retired. He quit. It's going to happen again. And it has nothing to do with physical age. It has to do with your mindset. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to keep up. I see the opportunities. I mean, think about it. 5.6 million homes sold this year. That's a tons of listings. There's tons of business around you. Who's going to get it? The agents who are up to speed. The right mindset, the right communication, the right systems. Agents who confidently come to the seller and says, Mr. Seller, this property should be listed at $495,000. It's going to take about 37 to 39 days, 40 days to get it sold. The closing time, the closing window will be about 40 days or so. And here's the list of improvements I would suggest we make so we can maximize the profit you're going to put in your pocket. After it's all said and done, I did a net sheet for you. That's an estimate, of course. But it looks like you're going to walk away with about $280,000 cash after you pay off your mortgage and pay off all the fees. That's what the sellers expect these days. The reason Zillow is so popular is because they can get a certain answer. It's certainty. Now, of course it's off most of the time. Of course the numbers don't make sense because the expertise is not there. It's only data. Are you getting it? But that's what people want to know. Zillow gives them a number. If you can deliver that kind of expertise and that kind of information with certainty, you will be unstoppable. You will be untouchable by your competition. Whether it's Zillows or red bricks or purple bricks or both, any kind of bricks or any discounters. And you don't worry about it because occasionally when you hit a client who says, well, you need to lower your commission. We got, Joe from ABC Discount Real Estate and Walmart Services, and they also do lawns and they do plumbing, and he's going to do it for $5. Are you going to match it? You simply say no. No, if the cheapest is all you're looking for, I'm not your guy. I'm not the cheapest. In my opinion, I'm the best. Because you're getting the most value. I'm not the most expensive one, not the cheapest, but definitely the best choice. Now you may be wondering, how can somebody be so arrogant? How do you back it up? Let me show you. And I can back it up. And maybe we'll do business together, maybe we won't, it's okay. But because I have lead systems feeding the system, the follow-up system, if I discover that the seller is super gung ho on the commission, super stuck on it, and there's nothing I can do, I can't move them, there's no emotional connection, there's no trust and respect. After a few minutes, I shake their hand, I smile, poof, I'm out of there. Because what is the most important commodity I have, most important valuable asset I have, is my time. And I won't let somebody waste it. Does that all make sense, my friends? Is that helpful? Abi likes my jacket. Thanks, Abi. Appreciate it, man. You get what you pay for. Joseph, that is true. But sometimes the discount broker will get the job done. Sometimes going for sell by owner makes more sense. Sometimes the FSBO sells on their own. 7% do. Not a whole lot, but sometimes they do. They save money. Not always. but sometimes. So I can't blame the customer for trying. I can't blame them for asking. You know what I mean? But I also know this is what I charge, this is what I believe my service is worth, this is what I know, this is what I deliver. And I'm certain, mindset, that there will be people out there who will appreciate it, see the value, and be gladly to pay me for my service. But here's the thing, guys. If you don't have good lead generation system, if you have one listing appointment a month, of course you're going to be desperate. Of course you're going to start cutting corners. And of course you're going to give in when the seller says, we want higher price, we want lower commission. Of course you will. Because you're coming out of fear, you're coming out of desperation. You know what I'm saying? That's why having the mindset plus the systems, lead generation system, is so vital. Because then you're not going to get stuck with an asshole seller who is arrogant and controlling, or an overpriced listing, which in my opinion is a disaster. You're just going to be groovy. You're either going to take it or you won't, but it's going to be on your terms. You'll be in control. That's what I'm offering you. That's why I do these boot camps, to put you in control of your business, your income, and your life. Groovy? Namrata says, I tried to follow your FSBO script in the last 3 weeks. However, I'm just wondering, what is the best approach? Call or just drop by the property? Very good question. We're going to do this in detail during the boot camp. Big chunk of the first session will be about how to approach the FSBO. Here's why that's important. How you set yourself up at the beginning, the first impression you create, whether it's FSBO or any other lead, will to a great degree impact how you're going to get the listing at the end, or if you're going to get the listing at the end. So the best approach is what I teach is no resistance, soft approach. There's no pressure, there's no manipulation, you simply ask a few questions. So the best approach, if you have the phone number, call them. And I would just call and say, hey, this is Borino with ABC. We'll say, don't worry, I'm not an agent, trust, trying to list your house. I know you've been getting a bunch of calls, people probably annoying you. I just wanted some information about the property real quick. It shows you a 3-bedroom, and you just into a simple conversation, few questions, doesn't need to be long. Then I'll say, well, do you cooperate with agents? If an agent brings you a qualified buyer, are you willing to cooperate with them? Most of the FSBOs will say yes, especially if they've been trying for a few weeks. And then you simply say, well, obviously I need to take a look at it first before I can send my buyers your way. Can you give me a quick tour tomorrow? Just 10 minutes. Most FSBOs, again, will say yes. If you don't have a problem with it, if you're cool and nice about it, most FSBOs will be as well. You'll see. And then we'll fine tune it, because someone will say, you know, well, do you have a buyer? Or just bring a buyer, all that. That's just fear-based behavior. And I will go through analysis why they behave that way and how we can remedy that. And it's not in like, oh, I have a clever line for it. It's a little more than that. But most, you will go and visit, have a little conversation with them. You're going to ask them 6 or 7 important, what I call core questions. And during that process, 3 things will happen. You will get clarity about one most important thing. And it's not price, it is their CDE, their motivation. CDE stands for core drive and emotion. You need to uncover that. You need to know how bad and why are they selling. That's important. Through the conversation, you're going to discover that. Second information you're going to find out is how long they've been on the market. That will tell you whether in the red zone, yellow zone, and green zone. Based on that, you will select which marketing segment you're going to deploy. And finally, they will get clarity. That you reposition yourself, not another agent, advisor, and a counselor. So there's no threat. So the behavior that's at beginning based on fear will change, will shift. And I'll show you how to do that. And you literally, if you do this right, it's easy, it's more pleasant because there's no pressure, there's no manipulation, but it also creates a very different relationship because it's very authentic. And I'll teach you how to do that. It's a process. I figured this out. Remember what I always tell you. I don't have any special talents. The good looks is all I got. I'm joking. Well, I'm not, but you know what I'm saying? I don't have special. I took something like prospecting, and I can break it down, and I can give you tools and little, I want to use the word technique carefully, so you can develop authentic, genuine connection with these people. You can show them that you really care, you want to help. It's a very powerful connection, very genuine, especially in this world where there's so much fakery and so much Instagramming of the bullshit and so much manipulation, and you're just going to come from the heart. Now, with that, you still will be high status agent, you will still be in control, you still have to deliver. There are still rules. You still need to be in control. But it can be done. And I can show you simple steps. If you just execute, if you practice it a little and execute, you can totally do that. So that's how it's done. And once you get the hang of it, Not that hard. It becomes automatic. Like I do role plays sometimes. I do coaching sessions and confidence clinics, and we do live calls and all that. And I constantly get it. And I kind of appreciate it. It's kind of flattering when people tell me, oh boy, you make it sound so easy. It's awesome. Just practice. No magic powers. Okay, Namrata? Kenneth, what's happening, brother? Good to have you here with us. Heather is here. Nice to have you guys. So, Christopher says, I won that jacket. Glad you like it, man. Thank you. We went shopping yesterday. All right, I want to make sure I answer your questions. When will we get the email for the FSBO Bootcamp? Just finished expired. Joseph, it's going to come out most likely this afternoon or early tomorrow morning. Don't worry, we have spots reserved for you, my Path students. For the rest of you, go to goborino.com/FSBO, sign up, register. We're going to ship you the books. We're going to bring you on board. And I will teach you. I'll teach you how all this can be done. Grace, I like your comment. Grace says, honestly, it used to be for hope. Now I expect to win. Expect to win. Expect to win, my friends. Don't play for hope. Don't go for maybe. And if it is a maybe, if you still feel wonky a little bit, we can troubleshoot. Where is it breaking down? Your mindset, your systems? Is it not enough leads? Is it poor follow-up? Is it listing? Sometimes it's a combination. So if it's a combination, we'll fix the mindset first, and then we'll look at your lead systems first. How predictable, how repeatable, and how scalable are your lead generation funnels? You should have 4. You can have more, but then you kind of spread yourself thin. You become jack of all trades, master of none. But if you have 4 good lead generation funnels, and most of those are focused on high probability leads, why wouldn't it work? That's how it's done. That's how the rock stars do it. Now, if you have a budget, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, you want to hire a marketing firm or you want to learn how to do online marketing advertising, that's fantastic. I don't teach a whole lot of that. There are other experts who can. But I suspect you're here because you don't want to spend $5,000, $6,000 on online marketing and advertising. Stuff like FSBOs, it's not going to cost you a whole lot. There's very little investment, very little. A little bit of marketing, a little bit. Most of it is free. With the expired, you put an expired package together or some print cost, not a whole lot. A little bit of follow-up as far as mailings. But you're not sending 7,000 letters or postcards, which we used to do. 12,000, 15,000. That was the range, between 12 and 15. It's a lot of letters. We got business, but it's expensive. Yeah? All right. Wow, check this out. Lawrence checking in from Singapore. Good to have you, dude. Thanks for joining us. Awesome. All right, friends. So here's my message for today. Play like the winners do. Play to win. Play with certainty. No fucking maybes. Go for it. Fix what needs to be fixed. And I tell you, for me, if I start stripping the emotion, the drunken monkey, this little bastard, I love this picture of the drunken monkey. You know that voice that says, oh, it's too hard and you're not cut out for this. Maybe you should get a 9-to-5 job and maybe there is too competitive. Maybe red, purple, green bricks will take business and it's people that are difficult and nobody's home and nobody answers. And shut that fucker up. It's costing you a lot of money and sanity. And you know how I know that? I have a world-class drunken monkey. My drunken monkey is as articulate as Hemingway. Better salesman than Grant Cardone. And he won't shut up. So I had to figure out a way to shut him up because I knew it was holding me back. It was a barrier. So yes, good tools are important. Marketing is important. Systems are important. And we have plenty of those. But if that fucker's in the way, it's not going to work. And I know I tried. All right? All right, friends. So come join us on the bootcamp. Would love to have you. I will answer all your questions. I will personally train you, teach you. Once a week, we get online for a live webinar. And I will break down the system, where to find the FSBOs, how to approach them, what works the best, what communication, which emails to send. There are actually a couple of things you should never, ever, ever send or talk about with a FSBO unless you want to lose it. Which texts work? Best time, best hour, best days to approach them. What is the first thing you must say when the FSBO opens the door when you go for the preview? How to answer their first 2 questions. And I'll show you what those are. And others, but the 2 are important. How to do the 7 to 10 minute preview, how to keep it moving. Because I tell you, once you get the hang of it, and it won't take long, but once you do, the problem is not going to be that FSBOs won't let you in. You will not be able to get rid of them. You will not be able to get out of the house on time. They will just be yapping, because all of a sudden they trust you. And that's huge, because 99% of the agents, salesmen who wants a listing. So we're going to reposition very quickly. And once you do that, oh man, they will talk your ear off. So that's going to be, but that's a nice problem to have. And we'll fix that as well. And I'll show you a couple of the techniques. And then what do? How often do you follow up? What do you follow up about? Some mistakes that I need you to avoid. And then how you start converting. What is the bridge dialogue? How to start setting up. How do you know that a FSBO is ready to list without being obnoxious and pushy about it that would just kind of build resistance and push them away? All of that you will know. And with a little bit of practice, and we're going to practice a lot, part of your homework and assignments, that part, yes. So it's not just me telling you stuff, it's actually you doing shit. It's going to be 4 very intense weeks, trust me. You're going to roll up your sleeves and work your ass off. Because the idea is for you not to just know it. Fuck that. Knowledge is not worth anything. It's combining the knowledge, the systems, and action. Then you become unstoppable. Then we're making money. Then we're cranking out listings. Plus, we'll do things like, what if the FSBO is really arrogant? What if the FSBO is really closed down? What if the FSBO is really aggressive? What if the FSBO seems to be not motivated, aloof, cold, and yet something is telling you they're hiding something? How do you open them up? All this will be part of communication psychology we go over. Because I find that not just more powerful, but more enjoyable, not to manipulate people, not to fuck with their head. Now you can, because some of the stuff I'll teach you is very powerful. And you can use it on the dark side. I don't want you to. I will actually make you promise me that you won't. You won't exploit it, because it can be very easily exploitable. We'll use it for the good, to help people. So that's the goal. Come and join us. Plus, you'll get a taste of the path. Now, you don't have to stay on the path. If you just want to do the boot camp, normally it's $2,000, $2,500. It's $197. Come on. So if you want to stay, I would love for you, because we have more for you, more stuff on the path. Every month you're going to get one system or one book or one something. We're going to build it and build it and build it until you're cranking 30, 40, 50 listings. That's the goal. But it's going to take a little bit of time and some work. But we'll start with the boot camp. So we'd love to have you. If you're my path students, sit tight. It's coming. I want you to be there, of course. You're my primo cool people, so we'll hook you up, of course. And then we're starting next week. Now, the registration is closing by Sunday, and the reason for that is we need to ship you those books. We need to get you the materials. I need you to read it, go through it before we start working, so we're not starting from zero. We have something to build on. And then come next Thursday, 1100 hours, Sergeant Borino with his sergeant hat, which I actually do, United States Marine Corps hat. We'll start cranking. We'll start working them FSBOs. And you're going to start doing it and implementing it. And I'm going to answer your questions. It's kind of a safe environment. I will break it down for you, answer questions, make sure you understand what needs to be done. There'll be homework, and there'll be accountability. So this way, I want to make sure you're progressing, you're moving forward. How fast will be up to you. How far you want to take it will be up to you. Some rock stars, 2, 3 listings a week. It's possible. Now, I can't by any means pretend or lie to you that that's what you're going to get, obviously. But I'll show you the tools. I'll show you the steps. I'll be your guide. I would like to apply for the job. How far you want to go, how fast you want to go, how much you want will be up to you, but we'll map it out. Cool? Would love to have you. Come join us. GoBorino.com/FSBO is the URL. Open till Sunday. Would love to have you on board, guys. Deborah says, I can't wait to sign up. It's $197 every month, Abhi, but you don't have to pay it if you don't want to. So if you are a student, it's $97, just one fee, $97, if you're already on the path. If you're not, it's $197. Come join us after the boot camp. If you want to stay, cool. If you don't want to stay, that's okay too. You get to keep the books, keep everything. As my thank you for checking it out. But I think you like it. I think the path is really good training because there's a lot of live interaction between you and I. I answer your questions. We have classes. There'll be one coming this Wednesday. What is today? Today's Monday. So on Wednesday, we're going to have a live session. And we're going to be talking about intent branding using social media, something I really, really find very effective right now. So that's coming up. So if you join right now, you will be able to come on a session on Wednesday, which is really cool. We'd love to have you. intent-based branding, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to have my man Aaron, whose company is running all our Facebook advertising and all our campaigns, talk to you guys. We're setting up a session with him so you can ask him questions. He knows a lot about Facebook advertising. He's a true rock star. If I pick somebody and I hire somebody and give him money to do the ads, he better delivers. So you'll be able, if you're interested in running inexpensive campaigns that produce results, we're going to be specifically talking about promoting your open house, but tons of the strategies and techniques apply all across. So that's going to be available to you, a whole bunch of cool stuff. So do join us, sign up, goborino.com/FSBO is the URL. Come on board so we can ship you the books. I can train you. I can get you up to speed. This can be your year. This can be a great year. You can either be preoccupied with the shit that's going wrong, and trust me, this world is full of that already. We don't need more. Or you can do it right. You can get up to speed, build a profitable business, secure a good future for you and your family. That's what it's about. It's not just about the money. Money will provide that lifestyle you want, and I'll show you how to get there. That's my job. I'm good at that. So if you trust me, come join us. Groovy? All right, guys. Let's see, any more messages? What's the cost for Success Plus students? Steven would like to know. Is $197, Steven. $197 will get you in. So come join us. We'd love to have you. Albie says, thank you, Coach. My pleasure. Great to have you guys. And with that, my friends, here's the URL one last time, goborino.com/FSBO. Thank you for being here today. Tomorrow, noon, live, Borino, giving you information, training you, inspiring you, motivating you, making sure that you guys crush it in 2019. That's my goal. Not just do okay. Not just get a few listings, help a few clients, make some commissions. No. Let's go for the win. Let's go for the Super Bowl. All out. All out. No maybe. All right, guys. Thanks for being here today. Time for him to go sweat. Coach Borino signing off. Let's go get him. Bye, everybody.